Welcome to the 2022 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships from the greater Peoria area of Illinois. It's Grant Zellner and Garry Patton with MP40 coverage of round 3.
Yeah, it's been a great battle so far, and I'm really excited to see what the players are going to do being back here for their final round at Northwood.
Northwood Black, the challenge of the day. That guy's having a good time out here. Some of the disc golfers, though, might be having a little bit more of a slogfest through these woods. The infamous Northwood Black course, where an even par round can rate somewhere in the neighborhood of 10-20. And you're going to see right now the leaderboard. Alan Wagner charging ahead of the field by 3 strokes over Colorado's own Joe Rovere. Martin Hendel, a staple so far on the lead card. And a newcomer to the lead card in Michael Johansen.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him attack the woods today.
Hole number 1, a par 4 at 455 feet, out of bounds to the left. Difficult to see here from the drone footage, but there is a creek off there to the left. There it is, along that lattice work.
Yeah, and there's OB long as well, probably in upper to mid circle 2.
First on the tee from Montrose, Iowa, Alan Wagner.
And first on the tee here, we have your leader, Alan Wagner.
Alan played very, very well at the Eureka Temp course yesterday to charge into the lead.
Yeah, he shot under par in both of his first 2 rounds. It's very impressive in these 2 courses. And there's the common play. Just turn it over a little bit too much, but that'll be just fine.
Safe.
Up next from Arvada, Colorado, Joe Rovere.
There's Joe Rovere. A lot of power in that frame. He's a really muscular guy.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he has a slower disc in his hand here.
Probably looking for a similar shot shape to what we just saw out of Allen, just maybe a little bit more glide.
Yeah, and I don't think any of these players are expecting to get a birdie on this hole, so
yeah, definitely a bit of a bonus birdie here if you were to get hole number 1, and it's probably going to take a circle 2 throw in.
I think round 1 Martin actually got it into the circle 1, but you're just trying to get clean as he releases that a little bit to the left, but it still looks like it's going to work out.
Up next from St. Thomas, Ontario, Martin Hendel.
Canada's Martin Hendel. Pleasure to be around. Had the fortune of getting to be with him the last couple of days following this card.
And he's had the most eventful tournament by far. I would imagine he has the most birdies in the event. He's just out there grinding hole after hole.
Yeah, a lot of bogeys and a lot of double bogeys to go with all those birdies. Needs this to get fortunate.
Does get fortunate. Wow, he's definitely putting.
And finishing off the 236 card from Denver, North Carolina, Michael Johansen.
I'm not going to lie, I was really excited to see that Michael Johansen played his way onto the lead card because I had never had the pleasure of getting to watch him in person.
Yeah, he is a woods technician, to say the least. And all 4 players inbounds off the tee.
As they make their way down the steep hill. And Joe first to play from 150 out.
He keeps a nice hyzer angle on that and puts it right next to the basket.
MJ playing next. He's about 25 feet closer than Joe. MJ, a very fast player.
And similar result to Joe.
Now here's Allen.
He looks to be maybe 100 feet.
Just a shade over that, and boy, from his angle, everybody thought that one had a chance. A little low all the way, though. Here's Martin, though, from just about 50.
I didn't quite give it a chance there, but I can understand that with the tree in the way to his right.
So all of our players looking to tap out their pars here on the first. No shame in that here at Northwood.
Nope, the journey has begun, per se.
Interesting dynamic while these guys putt out here. Several of our players on this card, very, very deliberate. And then you've got a player like MJ who plays very, very fast. So I enjoyed kind of watching the players sort of figuring out how to do that, how to play with players that are very different from you. It's a good lesson for amateurs out there and those getting into the game. You know, Michael Johansen would sort of walk off to the side, look at nature, kind of get into the trees, just do something to kind of occupy his time as maybe one of the other players took a few extra seconds to set up a shot. And that's a good way to keep your mojo down, keep yourself from getting upset or keep yourself from getting anxious about your next shot. Just find a way to distract yourself for just a few moments. And I thought MJ in particular did a great job of that as fast as he likes to play. Anyway, moving on now to hole number 2, a 580-foot par 4, about 300 feet to crest the top of this hill, which is what players are looking to do before turning back down to the right.
Yeah. So just 2 shots of similarity here will get you a chance at a birdie. You can easily outdrive this landing zone with a fairway driver or something faster, leaving you with a cutoff angle, but you'll still have some sort of forced ante sidearm approach. And the green does slope away a little bit, as you'll see as we get up to the basket here.
Yeah, a common theme here at Northwood. Baskets perched on hillsides, often sloping away from the direction of play as Allen takes the box once again.
He looks to have a fairway driver, and he pulls it over just a touch. And he'll have an outside chance at scrambling for par there, but it's going to be a very difficult few shots to get him there.
Here's Joe Rovere.
And Joe corrects on Allen's line a little bit, but still a little bit right. He'll have a long outside chance. He's going to have to fight the corner a little bit, though.
Martin to throw.
Looks a little early to the left, but if he squeaks through, he'll be perfect.
Sort of opens up the angle for him around that corner. We'll see what he has to work with. And now MJ.
He grabs the same disc as hole 1 and puts a nice shot up there.
He'll have the best footing, to be sure.
You know, definitely have the best angle into the green also.
So Allen only made it about 140 feet off of the tee. He's still well short of the corner. Catches a lot of cabbage with that overhand throw, but manages to get somewhat out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was trying to throw a thumber roller there or a little thumber in general. That was an interesting shot.
Now with the putter in hand, just trying to get around the corner and stay in the middle.
Excellent shot there.
Joe has about 335 feet. He's just short of the corner, but might be able to shape something.
Yeah, I'd say his angle's still pretty good. If this holds the turn.
Oh, it does hold the turn, catches the base of a tree, though. He'll be just outside the circle. MJ now from about 330.
Just as long as this stables up a little bit now. He looks like he's in circle 2 range.
And finally, Martin also about 330. Little tree trouble in the follow-through there, but
He makes it look pretty easy, though.
sure did. It's himself right about circle 2's edge, about 67 feet. Now we're up with Allen. Still 150 feet out.
I got that a little low. Hopefully it slides up. Okay. It's inside circle 1, I think.
Yeah, just barely, about 30 feet short. It's Martin from, as I said, about 67 feet.
Full commitment. Oh, and it sneaks over the right side.
I don't know what the count right now is on Martin from circle 2 or beyond, but I've seen 4 or 5 just with my own eyes so far in this tournament.
Yeah, Martin's putt is incredible, and he's definitely put some nice ones in for us to watch.
MJ from about 65 feet, that far away from having 2 in a row.
I feel like his release angle isn't suited well for that little Anheuser putt there.
This is Joe. He's 40 feet out. Oh, inches short.
Joe's putt's very safe, though.
Yeah, usually doesn't have much of a comebacker. Here's Alan from 30 feet.
Beautiful putt.
Needed that badly to salvage a bogey here at the second. Meanwhile, Martin, in carding the birdie, will pick up 2 strokes on our leader.
Yeah, and I'd say this hole played about normal. With 1 birdie and 1 bogey, 2 pars. And Alan did a nice job of limiting his stroke count there to a single. So he'll still maintain the lead.
Yeah, the temptation often when you get off the fairway here, doing too much. Sometimes just pitching out, taking your medicine, the wiser course of action.
Yeah, Alan's had that lower compact, firm putt for years, and it seemed to be very productive.
On number 3 here at Northwood Black, 604 feet. This par 4 has a large tree that's pretty obvious from the tee. You see it in the dead center of your screen there. That sits at just under 300 feet away from the tees. Players using that as sort of an aiming point. You want to be drifting down into the right of that tree, and if you catch this downslope, you'll actually get 340 or so off of that tee shot. You'll also be at the corner where everything begins to bend back to the right, and then the fairway just sort of disappears. The hole down in this hollow to the left. Very challenging hole, really fun hole to walk. Gives you a lot of opportunities to throw some interesting shot shapes.
That's an interesting statement. It's almost one of those holes that's more fun to watch than to play.
Yeah. Martin takes the box.
He looks like he put that over a little bit too much. What a kick.
$1 million kick, gets the downslope over to the left side. Depending on what he's got there, he may have opened up the angle.
Yeah, believe it or not, the tightest gap right along the top of the creek is the biggest gap, but it's maybe not the most preferred.
Not uncommon to see Joe go to the overhand from time to time. He was trying to skip that off of its roof, the roof of the disc, that is. Unfortunately, catches a tree just as the disc goes to the ground. At least he's out in the open.
Yeah, I would imagine the disc he threw is very overstable to be turning as slow as it was.
MJ gently off the tee, trying to drift this just off the base of that big tree I mentioned. Actually hits it.
Yeah, and he's right in prime position there.
And finally, Allen. Good shape on this.
Yeah, that shot looks beautiful. It's coming out a little bit at the end. He's right behind Martin there, I'd say.
Yeah, we'll see what he's got to work with. Might be something really good. Joe now still up on the hillside. Well in excess of 400 feet from the basket. Just trying to shape something around the corner, and does so.
He looks like he kind of landed there in limbo between the 2 gaps also. So he'll have multiple decisions here.
Here's Martin. Little gap in front of him.
The big tree straight down the middle is he's trying to throw just past that tree to the left. And it looks like he's doing so.
Oh, this is fantastic. From a standstill.
Maybe just outside the circle there.
Standstill 325 feet away puts the disc right there to the edge of the circle. Here's Allen hoping to do exactly the same thing. Chooses a different gap.
Wow, these players both hit that gap.
Markedly similar result.
Yeah.
Now MJ from just 315. Had a chance to chat with him a little bit as the round went on. He told me on a lot of these holes he's playing safer on his tee shot and taking the bigger risk on his second shot, as opposed to the opposite, which a lot of players do.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And if you remember from round 1, he just went down into that creek. You can't tell because of the vegetation. As Joe throws a solid shot there, he'll have a kick
drifts
to a
over.
great spot. What down where MJ went is a severe drop that, yeah, I mean, here you go now.
Completely in jail. He's 160 feet from the basket, not that that really matters. He's just trying to get back up onto terra firma. So now still with 120 or so to go, he can just see the top of the basket from where he is. All right, safely in tight.
You should be able to salvage just a single bogey there.
This is Allen now, 45 feet.
Oh, that was a very nice run.
So he'll tap in to save his par. Here's Martin from 37.
See if you can go 2 for 2. Oh, what a catch.
Last chain.
That little Anheuser angle kept it just far enough over to the left. Great putt from Martin.
Now Joe looking at 28 feet, but his feet are at the level of the top of the basket.
Nice putt from Joe there.
Just sort of dropped it in. He putts with a significant nose down angle anyway, so that really helps on those downhill putts. MJ looking down to pick up his marker before the disc even settles into the basket, as per usual.
Yeah.
You know, one thing about MJ I noticed, and I'm sure others have noticed this too, he kind of does the same thing on a lot of his longer shots. The disc, the moment it's out of his hand, he's looking down, he's picking up his towel or whatever.
Yeah, if he's in the fairway, it's his mini, or if he's on the tee, it's his towel. Yep.
Just reaches down, picks it up, starts walking back to his bag.
Look at that dance on the rim. Slow-mos are so cool.
All right, here we are at hole number 4, 637 feet. This par 4 also features a big tree as kind of your target off the tee. It's this obvious one right here, about 335 feet off the tee. You want to land somewhere in the vicinity of it. If you're lucky, you can squeak past it into this slightly more open area. Closer you are to this open area gives you a possible angle into this basket perched on the other side of a creek, which is playing as casual.
Yeah, and I would imagine players are trying to flip up a shot and go to the right of the big tree in the middle of the fairway. But you'll accept the left as well, as long as you're not down in the creek bed. Martin first on the tee here.
Taking dead aim. Oh, the one early sort of angled tree there juts out and gets him, pushes him off to the right. He'll be looking to salvage a par from up there. Here's Joe.
If that just misses that tree and pushes past it, here we go. That is a perfect shot.
That is a monster tee shot. Almost catches the downslope and gets even closer to the creek.
And also to be noted, these two fairways play parallel to one another, just opposite directions.
Here's Allen. A little bit of height under that disc.
As long as that gets down. Okay, that was okay. He can pitch up to the corner and have a shot at getting a par still.
And now Michael Johansen.
Oh, he turned it over just a little bit too much. Oh, but a good kick. I don't think he'll have a shot there at the green, but I hope he can prove us wrong. It'll be a very tight line if he does.
Martin again with a tree in the follow-through. Jerks that hand back. Makes the corner.
I don't know if that was a good or bad tree. It's hard to tell.
He hit two different trees, and I think the second one kind of corrected from the kick off the first one.
Makes sense. Yeah, so if MJ's going to get this to the basket, it's going to be a very late hyzer flip. Yeah, he's just accepting a pitch out. And unfortunately, takes a big kick down into the creek.
The odd thing about being down in that creek is if you're in the center of it, you actually have a little bit of space to work with, and you can kind of go up through the canopy and toward the basket. Meanwhile, Allen just forced to pitch out despite getting some good distance off that tee shot. So here's Allen's third.
Yeah, I like how he didn't press the issue there. He just accepted a little pitch. He's got that turned over a little too much, but if it's overstable enough, there it goes. It pops onto the green.
Not too bad there. Pin high. 25 or so feet. Here's Joe now off of that monster tee shot.
That looks great. Oh, a nice little tree assist. Puts him to about 10 feet.
You can't play the fourth any better than that. Here's Martin now, trying to float a little Anheuser putter, which is probably his favorite shot, at least in terms of the shot he chooses to throw the most.
Or in ratio of execution, yes.
And here's MJ, as I mentioned, with actually a little space to work with.
And did you notice he took casual relief back to get a better angle? I'm assuming that was his red disc in the creek there.
Right, yeah. Surrounded by water.
Casual water.
Casual water, you're allowed to back up until you have a decent stance. Michael takes advantage of the rule. Good lesson for everybody. Manages to save par thanks to his good use of the rules. Here's Alan from 25 feet. Up and in.
I feel like Allen's putts have all been dead center.
They have. His misses typically have been just a scotch low, but
in
his
the cage.
Right to left has been dead on. Here's Martin. That long pause before exploding toward the basket.
I don't think I've seen him break his routine this entire tournament, and we've watched him for all 3 rounds so far. And look at Joe here. Last person to putt. Just parked for birdie.
That was an impressive job of just dissecting this fourth here at Northwood Black.
It helps when your drive goes about 430.
Oh, sure enough, I was going to say we're going to see MJ looking down long before this disc settles into the bottom of the basket. That's a cool look.
Play disc golf.
Pelaan frisbeegolfia.
Spill disc golf. Yeah.
To help recognize players of all ages and backgrounds, we are excited to announce the PDGA Global Master Series.
Beginning January 2023, anyone competing in a Masters division at a PDGA-sanctioned tournament will qualify.
You'll be ranked with other players in your division from around the world. And the player with the 8 highest rated rounds will become a PDGA Global Master Series champion.
Visit pdga.com/GMS.
Ledgestone. Every summer, hundreds of disc golfers flock to the greater Peoria, Illinois area to compete in the sport's richest and most charitable event, the Ledgestone Open. But what does Ledgestone look like for the rest of the year? On the surface, Ledgestone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose the retailer that's as passionate about the sport as you are. Choose Ledgestone.
Hole number 5, 451 feet. Another par 4 here at Northwood Black. Playing up a narrow walkway as per usual before a late kink in the fairway. This more than a kink. This is a acute angle.
Yes.
Playing more than 90 degrees back toward the tee pad here. So it's shaped like a number 7, basically. And then up a steep little rise to a bit of a plateau where the basket sits. Lots and lots of trees within the circle here at the 5th.
And the common theme, you can't necessarily see the big tree here, but there's another big tree to aim at.
Yeah, there sure is.
And you're looking to throw this shot about 225 to 260 feet as Joe just gets a little lucky there, but you know what? Works out perfect.
You've got up to about 280 to work with. If you go beyond that, you're going to go long of the corner and have some problems. So everyone just trying to measure this tee shot.
Martin doesn't get quite as lucky. I think he'll have an easy pitch up through the gap, but it'll leave him with a long putt.
Looking now here to Allen. Putter in hand, trying to stay right in the middle. Looks good so far.
Looks to be the best shot of the bunch so far. Might have a little bit of trouble with that tree there, but not too bad.
MJ putting a little bit more air under the disc. Needs to miss that little one and does so.
And that right there is how you do it.
Perfectly placed. So Allen first to play here. Going up the hill, trying to shape something around the corner.
He just pushed that one a foot or two straight. He had the perfect angle on it, but here's what I was saying. Martin might actually be able to flex the sidearm all the way back in here. That looks pretty good.
Gets the release angle correct, flashes the basket. He could not tell how close he came from where he was. They're well below this level.
Yeah, that literally made my jaw drop. I thought he cashed it for eagle.
MJ now, this the ideal position. Catches a late tree, but he'll still be just inside circle's edge.
I like how Joe just lined up that forehand standing in a Patton pending.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little test. But
feel it. No, don't like it.
I think he made the right decision.
Yeah.
So Allen actually has a very reasonable putt here from 50 at most. Oh.
Basket and chain, but not in. So he'll tap out for a par. So MJ from about 30. Oh, again, basket and chain, but not in.
They both caught the nubs on the short side.
So Martin now with a chance at another birdie. Basket and chain,
yeah,
but his stays in. All right.
He putts a little different. See if Joe can get 2 in a row here. And he does.
Good job there by Joe. Everyone else cleaning up pars here at the 5th.
Yeah, and as far as par 4s go, this hole 5 seems to be one of the easier ones. I haven't looked at the average scoring on it, but I would imagine it's towards the top. I'm going to look at Joe's smooth shot there.
As much power as Joe has, he really has to take something off when he only needs about 250 to 280 on these tee shots, which is the case at a few holes here at Northwood Black. Moving on to the first par 5 of the day at 947 feet. The corner, or at least the first change in angle here on this fairway, only about 280 to 300 feet. But then the fairway continues to meander.
Yeah, and on your upshot, after you've thrown 2 full power shots, you maybe, if you're lucky, have this looked to the green right here.
Right. Where you're still going to be about 280 to 300 feet from the basket. So a really interesting challenge, something we don't see too often on disc golf courses. Joe with the tee box.
He threw that really nicely. That should be in the middle of the fairway.
It keeps it low, doesn't have too much time to get offline, should have good footing and a good open space to execute that second shot.
I think the most important part about this hole is not being too aggressive off the tee, because you can throw the same, that's a little tight from Martin.
Oof.
You can throw the same shot distance 2 shots in a row and you'll have a good look. But if you try to go too aggressive at it, you can end up in the woods on the left pretty easily.
Allen throwing now. A little overturned and then an even worse kick going further into the rough. It's MJ.
I've noticed MJ has thrown the same disc also on 3 of the holes already. And that shot is beautiful, right in the middle of the fairway.
Can't do much better than that.
So I imagine we have Martin here first. Yep.
Yep. Only got about 130 feet off the tee, so a lot of work to do. Just trying to keep things safe here.
And that short pad he's by isn't 680 feet, I believe, still from the basket.
Drifts a little into the rough, but should have some footing over there. Here's Allen, forced to pretty much just pitch out.
I think that's 3 holes already. He's had to just kind of take his medicine and pitch out.
Now Joe with a little room to work.
Oh, that needs to flip over a little bit. Yeah, just a little tight there.
Fortunate not to deflect at an angle, though, into the rough. Here's back to Allen again after that pitch out.
So he's looking for about 330 here to get in ideal positioning.
Yeah, wants to make the corner, actually does make the corner, starts working around it a little bit.
And those shots usually roll, too, down to the bottom, leaving you with a better angle. So that was a great shot.
There's MJ now, also looking to make that corner.
This looks great. Just needs to fade in time.
Yeah, might have pushed it long.
There it is.
All right, we're just fine. Good angle there, too. Martin now going with the forehand. No, the roller. Needs this to flip over on its lid.
Yeah, it's tough to tell if he's going to have a shot from there or not, but...
Now, Joe, I'll be honest. I was confused by this decision.
I think he's just so comfortable with the thumber that he really felt like he could get some sort of advantage there. And plus, as you were saying, it's good to take your medicine. As we watch Martin here in the woods quite a bit, he punches one out. But I think Joe was trying to be aggressive there. Sometimes it pays off, but out here I feel like more times than not, you're getting yourself deeper into a bad situation.
And we see the result of that right here. So forced to throw the overhand roller just to get out. He will have an open look at the basket from there. Sort of pays the price for taking that risk. Now we're up to MJ. He's about 250 feet from the basket yet.
Some beautiful natural framing here. And he likes it. That is a tap-in birdie, everyone.
Maybe I'm prideful compared to MJ, but when I throw a shot like that, I watch it all the way.
You have to soak in those good moments. As Allen throws a little bit low, leaving him at least 60 feet.
Yeah, right at 60. Here's Martin now. From about 187 or so, over the top.
Martin has almost thrown in a handful of shots in this tournament also. And, in fact, he did throw in one yesterday.
Joe looking at 130 feet between himself and the basket. Softly into the circle.
I feel like he threw that about 10% power.
For him, absolutely. And now here's Allen from about 60 feet.
This would be a huge putt. Oh my goodness. 2 holes in a row where he gave the putt a pretty good chance and just was a touch off.
Joe from 21.
Nice putt from Joe. Did Allen's putt hit the pole kind of vertically and come out?
It hit a lot of chain. It was a little high in the chain, so they didn't really accept the disc very well. They sort of rejected him right out to the side. Nevertheless, that's a putt you expect to fall.
Yeah, here's
at least some of the time.
Martin is just sneaking those putts over.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him the next time I see him if where he's from in Canada, the Ontario area. If do they deal with a lot of wind there? His putts are low. They're sort of line drives. He throws them very, very hard. It's a putt that is common in my area of the world. In South Central United States, we have a lot of wind, and a lot of people take on that style of putt just to get the disc to the basket as fast as you can before the wind can do something to it. I'm going to ask Martin, is that a comfort thing or is that by design? Nevertheless, it certainly works. And we're at the 7th. 325-foot par 3. Normally, a par 3 after a string of par 4s feels like a reprieve. Don't think that's the case here at Northwood.
Yeah, I would agree. This hole, being short, it still has a ton of teeth. This line down the center left is very tight. If you hit it on a hyzer angle the whole way, you're still left with 40 feet. The best play, in my opinion, is to late flip something up the right side, meaning the gap about halfway up the fairway, as we see MJ throw here. So he's taking that at gap, well, he's a little tight, but you could tell he was going to hyzer out and still have a lengthy putt. This one's hard to park unless you get a little bit lucky.
Joe now stepping up.
And here's the gap I was talking about exactly. You leak it through the right, and he's left maybe just outside the circle there. Had that have faded, he would have been parked. Martin next.
Going with the roller. Everybody on the card.
Yes.
The moment he threw this shot, everyone else on the card said, why didn't I think of that?
And it curls back. That's pretty close there. That's a great shot from Martin.
Yeah, 12 feet away, I'd say. Probably the best tee shot I've seen here at the 7th all week long. Allen Needs to get something going here. Takes an early tree kick, but still drifts up to roughly pin high. All right.
And Allen was throwing the hardest shot down the left gap, and that thing was flipping all the way. That was a good attempt.
MJ's still 150 feet.
With a forehand, leaves him edge of circle, maybe a little bit outside.
Allen's got a little bit of a window here.
On these longer ones like this. Oh my goodness, that was a good run. What you hate to see is a player pull into a tree near them because they're not even thinking about that.
Right.
So good on him not to do that, as we see Joe here.
38 foot. Nope. Off the tree.
I think he gave that appropriate angle if that tree wasn't there.
Yeah, if only that tree wasn't there, this whole course.
And no one's ever
only
said
those
that
trees
before.
weren't there.
So
MJ knew out of the hand that was low. Allen now cleaning up from about 18 feet.
Nice putt. We still haven't got to Martin's drive yet. Speak of the devil.
Here we go.
You notice he's still very methodical, focusing. He puts it right in the middle. That had a weird catch there.
Yep.
You know, the one that goes in clean was the scariest one.
Yeah, stared that one down. Nevertheless, in for the birdie, and once again picking up a stroke on all of the card mates.
It's interesting. Him and Martin, or Joe and Martin, both had the same little pause there in the chains. MJ wasn't quite ready to pick up his disc before it fell on that one.
Here we go with another look at this roller off the tee. Big angle there on that disc out of the hand. Had to arch his back way back, looking at the sky. And we're at the 8th. Another par 3 at 389 feet, playing decidedly downhill. You see 2 baskets in your frame. We're headed toward the longer one. This drop zone sign about 260 feet from the tee pad to give you a reference point, and then a little more than 100 feet tacked on to that before you get down here to the basket. All of those phone poles lined up to make a fence. That's a good target for these players.
Yeah, and the OB on the right really creeps in, but Martin has thrown an absolute gem.
Oh boy, that's a fantastic shot.
One thing to note too, I believe normal OB rules apply on this hole, and the drop zone's optional. This entire pit that the players are throwing over, as Joe throws here.
Yeah, that whole thing is out of bounds.
That's probably out of bounds, yep.
Yeah, deflects down into that creek. Here's Allen.
I needs to get a little lucky. And
he's just clear of the pit over there, so he's good.
yeah, so even if you go up, stay in bounds there, that makes your upshot so difficult. As MJ is the last to tee here. That needs to flip.
A similar result to Allen, and similarly safe. So he's got about 230 feet. But,
yeah, it's still a very difficult shot. Oh, no.
I wondered what happened there. Caught the hillside and then rolled out of bounds. So MJ will take a penalty stroke. Now Allen from a similar position but far worse footing.
Yeah, and to get this up and down, you really have to contest the out of bounds, which Allen does and goes OB close to the basket, but still so unfortunate.
Joe able to just pitch up from there after his out of bounds stroke. Now MJ after his out of bounds stroke off the mark.
So Allen about 20 feet closer.
Took a stroke to get out to here.
Nice.
Cash is in the putt to save a bogey.
It's just 2 holes in a row where Martin is pretty much just waiting on the card.
MJ takes the unfortunate double bogey.
There it is. Martin already has 5 birdies in the front 9.
That's a very impressive start. A very impressive start for Martin Hendel.
Take one more look at his 5th birdie of the round. That was nice in the middle.
Yeah, didn't have to stare that one down. Looking now at hole number 9, a par 4 at 732 feet. One more time, a larger tree in the fairway provides a bit of an aiming point. It's this one right here at the left of your screen. That tree is only about 250 feet from the tee, but if players can sort of bend a left to right shot off of that tree, they end up down in this hollow, where then they play back up and a bit to the left toward the basket.
Yeah, and to get to that initial landing zone to attack for birdie, you have to throw an excellent late turning shot. So we'll see if any players can get up there today. That's a little bit tight.
Little early, takes an inside gap and ends up with a stellar result there for Martin.
Yeah, and even though that fought through, he's still 40 or 50 feet from the ideal landing zone.
There's Joe with plenty of power to get there. So far, this looks pretty traditional.
And he says, "Hey, Martin, let's hang out, throw similar shots."
A little bit better angle there for Joe.
Yep. Ooh.
Allen inside and a little high. Doesn't get the fortunate result that Martin got a few moments ago. Now MJ up next.
And he follows the other 2 players that pulled to the right, but he looks like, yeah, he
Oh,
went straight through
very
as well.
well done. He'll have an awkward stance, though. So Allen now still needs about 250 feet to get up to sort of that second corner in the fairway.
And looks like he just cut rolled a little bit to the left there.
Now Martin from about 420 to the basket. Goes with the cut roller.
You know, I guess trees don't matter to him. It just keeps going.
Wow, puts himself inside 100 feet from where he was. That's an impressive shot. Now Joe, from about 5 feet closer to the basket.
And he actually has this central gap here. He wants that to turn. That's pushing. He might get into circle 2. Yeah.
Oh, even better, circle's edge.
Jeez, that was a great shot from Joe.
MJ now about 410 feet to the basket, and the best angle but the worst footing. Manages to get a full follow through there.
As he splits those trees, and yeah, he'll be somewhere in circle 2, maybe
just on the
edge.
outside edge of it.
Yeah.
So Allen playing next.
Let's see, still about 330.
Yep, right at 330.
And that grass is lush there. He just got the right side down.
Yep, another low one there. So now still 95 away.
He's given a few of these nice little spin runs. Oh, but he just leaves this one left, and he still has quite a bit of work there. As Martin tries to spin in another one, and he definitely scares it. It just hyzers out a little bit too much.
Pretty good effort there from 90 feet or so.
See Martin with a little smile there.
Yeah. 80 feet for MJ.
Just too much angle on Anheuser there.
And now about 45 for Allen.
He's made 2 of these so far. Let's see if he can put another one in. And he just
Off the chains again.
And this is for birdie from Joe.
Circle's edge.
Hey, and he gets it to stick.
Around that tree. Had only about half the basket to work with from that angle.
I think the course paid him one there because I think he was the only player to go down the intended middle of the fairway. So good on him.
Perfectly played from Joe. And the rest of our players tap things out here at the 9th. Yeah, unfortunately that's for a double for Allen, who's given his lead up.
Yeah, Martin is 4 down right now. That's very impressive. So I was hoping I didn't jinx his putt there. But
You're safe, at least for now. But there are still 9 holes to go here in this 3rd round. Our second go-around here at Northwood Black for the MP40 division. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the PDGA on all of our social channels, including right here on YouTube, so that you don't miss a moment of the action here at the 2022 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships. One more look at the leaderboard there for this, our lead card, and we'll be back soon with back 9 coverage from Northwood Black.